So it's about life and imagination. I'm sure you know this tree, the sal tree, the wonder of the way it articulates, animates its spread of seeds. So as I said, it's about life and imagination. And we often see nature as something separate from us, but it's not so. We want to achieve happiness, and pure happiness is the way we see life. We talk about architecture, being imaginative. Good architecture is how we see imagination. And pure or true architecture, to me, is a subset or a set how we see life in our imagination. We often see imagination, something without life. We see built environments, we see colors, but we forget to see life. It's very important understanding that we are getting deluded into a different kind of imagination. But who we are, think, we are nature. You are, I am, we all are nature. And from this nature comes this word, biophilia, love for the biosphere, biology, everything which is living around you. The natural rhythms all affect our neurological and physiological. It's a psychological also. We have a natural affinity to nature. Elements, it changes. All of this, we connect them on a mental, physical, and social level. Think, this love for life and its surroundings, when it's layered in your imagination, it is good architecture. It is architecture. I don't know whether you see the trees more or the arch more, but it's very important that when we're living in a built environment, how much do we give importance to the unbuilt factor? There are a few slides I'm going to show you from our projects. The time doesn't permit so much to speak on detail, but I'll layer the philosophy of biophilic design. People ask for proofs in biophilia. What is this? Is it something different? What kind of proof? Let's talk it simply. Take a morning walk in the forest. You benefit twice compared to the city park. The phytocytes in the tree restore your hormonal balance. In fact, because of COVID, people were getting into depression. Simple walk into green restored them. Why? The phytocytes in the morning. We know the circadian rhythm, the balance it creates. We should know our parasympathetic and sympathetic nervous systems talk well when we are in natural settings. If you go to a synthetic settings, you're deluded from that. Blood sugar, blood pressure, everything. Just expose yourself to the nature. Just expose. It works. Your retina health improves by looking at the grass. 13 minutes of a break is enough to de-stress you after every 3 hours of your working. The serotonin and the melatonin hormones are very well regulated when we are close to nature. Talk about performance, a fresh air improves approximately by 15 to 16%. When we are talking about performance in business sector, we mean profit. Often the designs are guided by, oh, I need to maximize my gain. This is a puristic thought, maximize. But let's understand this 4P, planet, people, performance, profit. If we maximize our performance by being close to nature, we give adequate profit and not harm the nature, not harm the planet. This maintains the planet in its restorative balance. Otherwise, we need about 1.8 Earth right now. Post-COVID, it was 1.73. People were inside, a little effect has come. But that's what it becomes. You good do performance. If I'm connected with nature, I get good profit. I don't stress my planet. It is restorative. That's the reason of biophilic by design. How we do it? Worry about the nature in space. The rules and regulation of the urban system don't allow so much, but we can. The analogs, the inspirations that we can take in the built environment, build design, shaping, form, color, and the quality of the space. Is there a dialogue between the built and unbuilt? Or we are containing everything and say, I am contained, I am secured, no polluted air inside the space. We're not building any gardens and greens around us, and we're complaining about the polluted air killing us. It's very important that all the trees around us are secured. Even if it's a small tree of a year, can we not secure it? A little definition about nature in space. Participate nature in design. Green courtyards exist around, build around the geography. Don't disturb. Participate green terraces. Build it around, capture the dynamic nature of the environment. Ample biodiversity. About the analogs, imagery, rhythms, elements. How do we inspire ourselves and bring ornamentation patterns of nature in our design? Call it biomorphic. It's okay. Nature of space. Spatial organization. How do we talk inside, outside? Do we have great views? Have we cared for a good view? Or we are just conserving? Find a frame. It then settles down and I start respecting it. I should be able to admire the frames, the panoramas all around me. Some quick projects. A 20 lakh square feet of built environment of IT has an urban park, the project called EcoSpace. This is done in pure form of Indian Vedantic design, self-sustainable, not a single biodiversity was here. The little patch of green water that you see is actually the recycled S2P water, but it sustains a high density of fishes inside. People take a refuge, come here in the break hours. The sound of white water, people have fishing pools. They can not fish, you don't fish in pools, you feed the fishes, you enjoy. You sit amidst the shade of a tree and not under a covered porch. People look forward of taking their laptops and sitting here and working. Rajhans is all around. They breeded here. Now there are about 16 in a span of about 6 years. I'm talking about their life cycle. But we didn't bother about very synthetic finishes. Brick was good enough. Be it in Calcutta, it's okay. Let there be hardness. So what? It's natural. They forgot planting people trees. Banyan. But these will become the future of good air. People love this. Next project is called Swabhumi. It's an adaptive reuse project. Now it's a Taj property. All the trees and the geography of a garbage dump was conserved. The godowns were converted into hospitality spaces, interstitial space encouraging natural light, the walking spaces, be it the connecting catlink, was added and ensure that it goes through the tree and you kind of bend your head, stoop down, respect the tree and go. If it's a volumetric space, a space which was again a go down, converted into a spa portion. You see, we don't have peacocks, but an imagery of peacock. That's analog. Life around you. Let there be waterfall in the pool. Let there be water coming into the veranda. Be natural. The staircase and the corridor, which was opened up, cast aluminum profiles were added to give support to the structure around us and opened up on either side. It got made into a wonderful social place called the bar. I think it's called Swig. All the bottles collected from Feriwala, Faridabad, were dumped here. Extensions in steel, layered in cast iron filigree work, looking over to the green. The shopping plaza converted and articulated into a hotel courtyard. Another property called Amaya. It is right in the heart of an industrial district, little outskirts of Kolkata. If I reduce the boundary wall that you see right now, you would see a factory. Just raise it. The tree plantation around the factory is good enough for me to appreciate. Areas non-AC, because let's give the go about cross ventilation. The material here, all the material that you see here is actually fly ash bricks made from Kharagpur thermal plant, which was completely stopped and the fly ash was dumped. We used it, employed the people in the village. And within a 3 kilometer, we got this fly ash stabilized by a little more concrete and then employed here. This is a lake to conserve this water. This one wasn't a lake. We carved out a lake so that we don't take any good earth from the outside agriculture fields. All a little projection, but the natural edges were kept the way it is, so that the biological cycle, the environmental cycle continues. All the 73 trees, whether it's palm, coconut palms, or small trees, all were conserved and the buildings are made around them. The Kacha edge is natural. People love it. Raj Hans also loves it. All the trees in day one, they're not planted. They were existing in the site. The design was built around it, articulated so that the panoramas can be interesting from your deck. Even the light fixture that you see is made from Timtima, the local base of your kerosene lamp used in the villages, cut open to include the designs. Tribal folk art employed. Even the do not DND tags are made of timber. An inspiration from the banana leaves got captured into a steel sheet work art that you see there. What was existing around us became a piece of art in silence. Pumpkin bases got converted into a piece of art. And Radha, which is basically decanting water from the canal into field, uses an artwork here. The wires that we used in binding in the site, we used it, piece of art, that was also not wasted, employed on the wall. Another recent property, the Talpati Taj Convention Center, a property of Taj. This is right in the heart of Kolkata. As you can see, this is I think this is the days of 3 months back before photographs are. What do you see? The layers of green, natural light, simplicity, views. That's the facade, but that will allow the brick to age, algae to go up, and the bougainvilleas from the top, bottom, and different layers come. These common areas can be operated non-AC, even it's a 5-star hotel convention. In the evening, the terrace is usable, sound the white water, and the decorations can be simple candles. That's the terrace. Even the terrace has about 40 trees going up. The inspiration from what was seen around us got reflected into the art inside the space. Using all that stuff that you see these are the insulators in electrical posts that you see. Even the inside, be the carpet, has an inspiration from the algae which was photographed on the brickwork and then converted into layers of color. The geometry was different phases the drawing of the algae. One interesting project I thought I'd share with you. It's an older project. This was the standard biophilic design with offices having green terraces. Very recently, I had a pleasure of seeing those terraces by an occupant who's a friend of ours. This is the feel of the terraces on the 18th floor. Every office, and very interestingly, they didn't bother to trim the green in front of the glazing. They said, no, we want to keep it. We enjoy each part of it. So 100-story, 100-meter building, every floor has these large cantilever terraces. The meeting rooms jut inside this green and have an interesting articulation. People love coming here. They even hold parties. This is a very good selfie point for all the people employees there. And they say, this is working for us. In a principle, on a real estate platform, biophilic designs fetch a higher profit, 125 to 130%. These consume around 30 to 40% less energy, obviously. They increase human performances by 20 to 40%. Increase sales 18 to 25%. All the commercial buildings and food courts that we are designing all have green terraces, and they're very happy because the food court sales go up. People love to eat more in nature. Absence, less absence by 30%. Interwood is already happy. People learn faster. They learn and comprehend 75% faster. Healing processes goes up by 15-20%. A hospital designed almost 10 years back gives fantastic results. Reduce status violence by 50%. This is very important for our urban dwellers. Heated up. Biophilic design, reduce violence. And of course, you aim for a high level of actualization, the very motive of an individual. Friends, that's all I have to say. Now let's build biophilic designs, because men build buildings and these build us, build men. Thank you. Thank you very much.
My name is Hadeep Sani. I'm the founder of Interwood brand. We have been manufacturing and retailing modular kitchens and wardrobes for a quality seeing customer for more than 30 years. We use a German recipe for our manufacturing, which makes our kitchens and wardrobes antimicrobial and compliant to even emission norms, which means every Interwood kitchen and wardrobe stands the test of human safety and well-being. A feature extremely important in these times and something we cherish as our brand core ideal. With a brand presence in more than 12 cities, we are recipients of quality certificates in environment safety and highest standards of production. Within 30 years and counting, we are ready to take the next leap of growth in fulfilling aspiration of designer fraternity.
Interwood as a brand started manufacturing kitchens and wardrobes some 30 years ago, as you all know, with a recipe that was truly German, with human well-being at its core ideal. Now, since then, we've kind of come a long way, where we have worked with more than 1,500 architects across the country in helping them morph their vision into reality. So today, at this milestone of our business, we thought, what could we give back to the design fraternity, which has so amazingly blessed us with their patronage, their love, and their support. So we thought that we also understand that, architects and interior designers are catalysts of social change. Just what we saw when Dr. Kuriakose was speaking. They single-handedly can morph urban landscapes. They can bring about a cultural innovation, and they can also ignite a wellness movement through a meaningful design dialogue. So we thought it would be only appropriate to give back to the architect and design community a gift of 3 Rs. Yes, 3 Rs. So the first R stands for recognition. By having a WAP model, recognize this amazing design talent pool that we have in our country. We want to kind of give space and visibility and space to all the design fraternity on our newsletter, which will be disseminated to more than 15,000 premium homeowners across the country every year. The second R stands for reward. Yes, a reward. Through this WAP community, we also understand that we want to reward this fraternity by being able to promote their wonderful work through our social media initiatives, through our market outreach programs, which will be constantly disseminated through knowledge sharing platforms such as these webinars for the benefit of all. And third is revenue. Yes, we also, by scouting for meaningful projects, for relevant and meaningful projects for our architects, we at Team Interwood would strive to help our design fraternity increase the revenue growth. And ladies and gentlemen, all with the overarching umbrella of respect. That is our value-added partnership. So without much further delay, I invite all the participants from the design fraternity attending this webinar to be a part of this amazing value-added partnership